Hello, I'm Justin.
And I'm Kyle.
And we are Defenders of the Night.
We are Gargoyles.
Bum, 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 bum. Give me the drum beat. Bum, bum, bum. How long should I do this? Okay.
I was wondering how long that bit was going to go.
We are here to look at Neca's Gargoyles. Or actually, Neca's Disney's Gargoyles.
Mm-hmm.
We have to get the mouse.
Don't anger the mouse.
So I'm a huge fan of the show. Kyle's a pretty big fan of the show.
I enjoyed it.
A lot of people call it the answer to Batman the Animated Series.
Disney Batman.
It was Disney Batman, basically. It was a darker tone for what Disney had usually done. It was a 90s cartoon. It had Arthurian legend. It used Norse mythology.
Shakespeare.
It was set in modern times. And it had magic, mysticism, Shakespeare, allusions, and references.
Technology and
it was
time travel.
And they were still gummy bear colored, most of them. He's gruffy. He's the old one. So we talked about Super 7 recently. A lot of people had stuff to say about our Super 7 video, so we decided to give NECA a shake, but specifically just the Gargoyles. And I wanted to talk about this fine line with this fine gentleman right here. When you walked in and you saw this spread, you said...
What did I say? I don't remember. That's a long time ago. That's almost 15 minutes ago.
You said, impressive.
Oh, yeah. Ask me again.
So when you first walked in, you said...
Impressive.
Most impressive.
I think
I remember that.
Why impressive?
The wings, I think, are the biggest thing because they're big spread. And, you know, I know all the characters. I know that's the fat one. I know this is Goliath. He's the one who likes to eat. Broadway, because he was broad.
Yes.
And this is Brooklyn.
Yep.
Lexington, Demona, Hudson, and Phalon.
Phalon?
See, I remember his stuff. And Bronx. And Xanatos, of course. You can't forget Xanatos. And Xanatos in his suit.
Armored Xanatos is what they call it. So these are usually in the $40 range. If you find them at Target, which Target is a NECA licensed seller, if you find them in Target and you don't pay shipping and you don't pay big bads like $2 or $3 premium package charge, these things are like $38, $39. Pretty good deal, I think, for what you get. You mentioned this before. Feel that. He's
a chunky boy.
He's a chunky boy, but even Elisa Maza, compared to
She's pretty heavy.
Don't say that. You can't say that about a woman.
Lots of plastic.
It's a dense
And
plastic.
that's not a derogatory.
She's heavy or she's dense. Actually, I consider that the Cagney toy that comes with Elisa Maza. Cagney is her cat. Like, James Cagney, detective. Yeah, because police work is her life, I guess. She has no other interests.
Maybe somebody else
whatsoever.
gave her the cat. You don't know the story of the cat. Did they have an episode about the cat?
The cat was featured in a few episodes. No, nothing about his detailed backstory and how he
Maybe
came to
that's series, a spin-off.
I guess the best way to do this is to go kind of in order as they came out. We won't go in perfect order, but it's basically the order I got them in. Goliath was the first. Goliath was the test. And someone in the comments reminded me he was cheaper. He was like $34. He does come with less stuff. He comes with another head, a book. He's a very learned gargoyle, always wants to read. And then the all-important jalapeno.
Jalapeno.
And of course, a couple of extra hands. Now, to me, that is all you need. This is going to be a reoccurring theme with this. I feel like they artificially inflate the price by adding in all of these extra accessories that are stupid and unnecessary. I'm gonna get on my soapbox. You ready?
Okay, hop up on that.
Okay. In my opinion, accessories should either be important to the character or be keystone moments of the show that character was involved in. I feel like most of these, if you use that as a criteria, fail. I feel like it's artificially inflating the price, or maybe they have it's like, because Lego does this, they have a specific budget for a set, and these had a specific budget. It's like, oh, we have room left over in the budget, so let's throw these in. We have money for that. Or do you think it's the buyer has to see their money in the package, so let's throw some more stuff in there. Let's give Bronx a piece of meat. I'm sure he did that at least once in the show, right? Let's give him a piece of meat.
Perceived value.
Yeah, the perceived value. What's your opinion on that?
I think it's probably the perceived value. If they wanted to do something big, they probably couldn't afford it because their profit margins are pretty set. They have to make this much money, and people forget that these are a company first. But if they don't make money, we don't get Gargoyles. People want to complain that they're too expensive, they don't come with this, but they have to make money.
Just seeing visually this compared to like Elisa Maza or Xanatos. Now, both of them did come with big wings. to kind of spread out the price a little bit, but they're accessories and they're much smaller figures. You think, like, wait a minute, is that figure really worth the same as this? Because it was the same price.
Well, I know Transformers, when they have a wave of 4 figures or whatever, they have a budget for that entire wave. So if they have a smaller character that costs less to produce, then they can put more money on a different character. And if these guys were in the same wave, if they follow that same pattern, then they can spend more money, make him bigger, give the fancy paint job, because he didn't cost as much.
The other big issue that everyone and their mother has complained about these Gargoyles figures is the wings. Why? Why did they come with their flight wings?
They all came with a flight stand, right?
That's what I was going to say. There's no way to display them flying, okay? You have to buy something separate, use fishing wire or something. People call these the open wings. These are flight wings. These are what they look like when fully spread and flying. Yet, how often in the show did you see them flying versus doing other things?
No, they did other things. Well, this is weird also because he can't look up.
That is my next issue.
So I guess he's just looking for prey?
Yeah, always. He's looking for jalapenos. I don't understand why they chose that as the default. The flight wings. It should have been the half-ready action wings. What they had 90% of the time they were on screen.
You've watched the show recently, right?
More recently than you, yeah.
Okay, so when they were just walking around, they had them the half up.
Yeah. If you were to break it down and actually use the stopwatch, the scenes of them flying are way less than scenes of them doing
the
stuff.
Closed?
The closed stuff, that didn't happen as often, no.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay. 3 of them have the closed wings. That didn't happen that much.
Not as much as the most common wing position is the open ready. I don't understand why they chose this as the default. Maybe it was just the wow factor, but these are shelf killers. How long is this table? There's a 5-foot table, and I still can't even fit everything on here? How do you display these things? And then they have this, and this is them relaxing. This is them, we beat Xanatos, let's have a brewski. This is that wing.
That's him reading his book.
I have in flight, in transit, through the sky, through the starry night. And then I have, let's relax. Okay? There's no way to have them in the position I want. There's not enough space. There's nowhere to put them. I don't understand that. Neca, please give us the ready open wings.
Well, you know who does have the ready open wings right here?
Yeah, but that's only because that's how they transform. And these do. Isn't that awesome looking? Oh my goodness.
Pretty cool. And he's so big. What if this had a pin here?
That's what they need. To me, they need this. Or the hinge goes this way, so they can slightly open and close.
They didn't do that in the show, right? They were behind them.
You do the joint, back, and then there'd be a slight little angle you could add to the top. Am I displaying? Do you see what I mean?
Stop it. Goliath was huge. These tiny little wings are supposed to hold him up in the air.
I cannot fly. I can only glide on currents of wind.
And Disney Magic.
Neca, please give us the half-open, ready wings. And maybe make a joint, a hinge joint, where they can maybe move like 40, 50 degrees.
I think at this point, they'd just be separate stagnant wings.
Or you could do,
closed.
That would be better than this.
Yeah.
Even if they were stagnant and they were like this, but just ready. I'd be fine with that. If you did add a joint, I would say the hinge joint, like right there, so they could slightly
the wings
open.
Really heavy?
Yeah, they're pretty heavy. The other issue is the issue you mentioned with the neck. I wish they put the separate neck. Like Xanatos has that. So he has the neck at the base, the ball at the base, and then he has the swivel at the top. So he can really get sassy.
You can do that.
The problem with the neck is a lot of these characters have long hair, which completely prevents them from looking each other in the eye.
Oh, embarrassed. Maybe that's considered disrespectful to Gargoyles.
It must be, because
they're in New York.
Or either that, or like the taller guys, like they're always bucking up on you. Like they always have their neck forward. Lexington, his neck is much straighter. Demona's, her neck is a little straighter, but like Goliath and Thalog, a lot of the other guys, their neck is positioned slightly, instead of this, it's like that, and then they only have the ball joint to change that.
And they have long hair.
Because the long hair, and it's rubbery, but it's still pretty thick, pretty substantial.
Yeah, even if you move it up, it's
there's no way to make Goliath do that, like look up. You cannot do that. And then these big bulky joints, for the wings in the back prevent it even more. That's another issue. Now that I don't have a suggestion how to fix other than maybe make a joint in the hair. I know they've done that with Dragon Ball Z figures. Bandai and some other companies have done that where they put a joint in the hair. The Super Saiyan 3 and things of that nature. So I don't know how to fix that unless they made
My Little Pony hair.
Do you want to brush Goliath's hair? You've always wanted to brush Goliath's hair.
Well, look at it.
I think that's what it is.
He has got
And look at the
mullet
and the
of doom.
The traps for days, which would be difficult to do if they gave him the neck. The traps wouldn't really be there unless it was like kind of hidden inside of it. Yeah, wings and neck and hair. That's my issue with them.
The other thing I noticed is how cut they are. I don't remember them being drawn like that.
It was interesting because Goliath was the first, and a lot of people said he's got negative 2% body fat.
I'd agree with that.
They're super cut because in the animation style it was very 90s, probably above what most cartoons did at the time as far as quality. They were very low detail.
Yeah, because it's animation.
Yes.
It's also mimicking a little bit of the Batman.
Which was more of a Art Deco style. Now, I won't say they did Art Deco. It still looked like Disney. They still kind of had that rounded and animation style sometimes. Had that very, like, smooth, what? Animation style. What? He's Scooby-Doo for some reason. So they were very low detail. You didn't see, like, lines in the muscle. Hardly at all. I don't know how to say this, but Goliath, they drew the uniboob. Like, there wasn't, like, two distinct pecs. But when they made the toys, like, jeez, look at his legs, man. He doesn't skip leg day. He owns leg day.
Every day's like that.
Yeah. So I was curious, how are they going to do the human characters? Well, Elisa Maza and Xanatos were the first ones, and it's like, are they going to go with a more realistic style, or are they going to make it look more like the cartoon? And I feel like they really went into the cartoon.
Lean back a little bit.
Yeah, the low detail, not a whole lot of shading or over-the-top sculpting. It really just looks like the cartoon.
I do like that hair, like the windblown hair. That's a really good sculpt.
But look at these faces while we're talking about Elisa. Look at the depth of expression these have. Tell me what each face means to you.
So this is, I'm listening to you, but I'm not really listening to you. This is Smirky. Did you think I was ugly as a human? And this is Smirky without the eyebrow. That's genuinely impressed, which she is not very often.
Okay, so what's your opinion on that?
They're very similar. I mean, but I guess they're not bad.
They look good. I think they should have done open mouth yelling, like something a little more actiony. I think they're way too similar. You've got basically
Smirky.
Smirky, totally neutral, no emotion whatsoever, and then you have like one that's kind of neutral but happy with a slight smile.
Right.
Like, where's the yelling? Where's the stop or I'll shoot? Where's the Goliath? We need to, like, there's no.
Don't eat that jalapeno.
Yeah, don't eat that jalapeno again. Just think of what you did to the bathroom. There's no emotion in any of these except a little bit in the cocked eyebrow and the tiny little smile. There's no action face. Whereas Xanatos has this one and this one. What are these faces to you?
He's very cartoony. Yeah. There's Smug Xanatos. And this is, I'm mad at you for some reason.
Now compare that to the one that came with the armored Xanatos.
Oh yeah, that's pretty different. He's like more determined.
Are they different?
Wait.
To me, they looked almost identical.
Is it just painted differently?
I think it's just the paint.
Yeah, his teeth are not. It's the same head.
It's the same head! They had an opportunity to give us another Xanatos expression, and they didn't do it. They used the same exact mold. Shame on you, Neca! I am really disappointed with that. For this whole time, when I was looking at it online, I guess I didn't look at it closely enough, I thought they were different expressions. They're not.
It's like, why would you even do that?
Well,
What's the
exactly.
point?
Why even give that head? Just say, oh, well, you have to buy the Xanatos head. If you and why not a like kind of open mouth expression for him, like a telling his evil plan or something like
the monologue,
why
the villainous monologue.
That really annoys me. That's my gripes. No, I'm still really impressed. I still like them. I don't think my money is wasted.
I think the paint is really good. The paint is like that bronzy, a little bit of goldy, I guess. There,
it looks like real metal.
Good.
Yeah,
looks like real metal. The sculpting is very good. He's got the veins in the hand and his arms. He's so cut and so swole. His mullet is immaculate. She's got gradation on the color of her hair. It gets darker as it goes down.
He's got a little bit of highlights there.
He looks super scary.
Now, what do you think of her face? I think they almost made it too pointed. I know she looked like that in the show, Sometimes they would draw it with a really pointed face, but that chin could split wood.
Don't mess with her. Well, she is supposed to be evil, but it looks really good. That's super scary.
Yeah.
She doesn't have all the muscle and everything. They didn't do that to her.
No. Now with Super 7, you saw my Super 7 Thundercats collection. You saw how many little tiny paint mess ups there were. Not a lot, not very noticeable, but there were a few.
Small ones,
every other character, every third, fourth character that had a little something. I have not found, now I haven't inspected them as closely, but very, very little. We saw the Xanatos one, maybe a few little on the clothes here and there. I have not found nearly as many paint foobarbs. These are way more consistent than the Super 7, in my opinion. Just from my limited experience at Neca.
Well, do you have any other NECA toys other than these
My son got a Predator that he found on sale, and it's really, really good too. I guess it's superior to Super 7. I'm curious to see some NECA collectors out there. If you can tell us if NECA has the same issue as Super 7 seems to have, but I have not seen it through the Gargoyle line.
That's probably more quality assurance than just being a superior painter or...
Having a superior quality assurance would mean you're probably a superior company, right?
Well, they just put more eyes on it, probably.
Yeah.
It means more to them.
Now, you were looking at Thalog and his little blaster gun. I have not tried it yet. We mentioned this on an earlier video. We are not accessory crazy. I know some people want a bunch of accessories. It looks pretty cool. It looks very actiony. Of course, he has to be flying to do that because he only has flying wings.
Pretty heavy.
Their joints are pretty strong. I would imagine he could do that.
Try.
These do have the pins, so they're kind of behind on the times.
I will shoot.
That's an example of going back to our previous point of a character significant or episode significant item that he comes with. That is one, because he had a gun that looks just like that, and he shot it. And I think, if I remember, it bounced around the tanker or whatever. Maybe that's how he escaped. And then he had the money that he stole from Xanatos. So those immediately come to mind. Oh yeah, those guns Demona comes with. I don't remember if those are accurate or not. I know she did shoot guns, but it's not important to me. Now the Grimorum, that is definitely it. But I would rather have like a few more expressions than those guns, or maybe give up one of those guns and give me more expressions. Going to Broadway. He comes with the slime that he ate in episode 1. Why? Why? Someone had to sculpt that. They had to have meetings about it. They had to paint it for slime. And then these other guys, here's my rant. These other guys come with weapons. This spiked mace, this axe.
Was that on the first episode?
I don't remember. I mean, maybe they did. Like, Lexington has that really bad as in awesome, Michael Jackson bad looking crossbow with a chain, and it comes with 4 bolts. I'm never going to use those bolts, ever. They're going to go in a bag, and I'll forget he ever had them. That crossbow, I can't remember if he used that or not. It definitely wasn't significant, even if he did. Eliza Maza does not come with a gun, even though she had a gun a lot in the show. Now, someone has suggested that Disney didn't want them to make any realistic, modern-looking guns, but that is an example of she really should have had a gun. She had it all the time in the show, and there were keystone episodes that dealt with guns and gun safety. She doesn't come with a gun. She has a flashlight, which I think she may have used like 6 times in the entire show. I don't know. It's really annoying to me.
But that could have been something outside their control, though.
Yeah, if that was true, that Disney made them do that, I think Broadway should have come with a hand with a crushed gun. Yeah, you're designated an entire mold, but I'd have that over slime.
He's always doing
a freaking mace he's never used, or an axe. I can't remember him ever having. And then Goliath, he was cheaper, but he didn't come with any weapons. He had the book and the jalapeno.
I do remember the jalapeno.
Yeah,
so that's
I'm not
me,
dissing the jalapeno.
sense.
I'm not dissing. Hudson just came with his knife.
That's all he needs.
Exactly. Another hands, and his knife. That's all you need.
Well, he came with his free grumpy attitude.
Yeah, that was free, though. That was free. They didn't charge for that because that was just imbued in the plastic. His crotchetiness.
Smells grumpy.
To me, he is the standout figure. If I were to pick one that's my absolute fafavorite, it's him. He's not even my favorite character, but that is my favorite model, my favorite
Is it
toy.
because he has the most clothes?
Probably. He has the most clothes, he has the
naked.
most detail, and he looks really good. For the hyper-realistic muscle and clothing texture they went with, he translated the best, in my opinion. His hair, his face, his clothes, the armor on his shoulder, he just blows it out out of the water, I think. He is a standout. And because he has so much is probably why he didn't come with much things, because all of it went to the figure. Bronx has all this shading on him. Tons, like at least three layers of shading. He has this soft body that covers all the joints. Normally I hate that, but it doesn't impede any of the joints. But they had to give him something. So what'd they give him? A hunk of meat? A log? I don't know. What is that even supposed to be? I'm being crotchety.
Rubbing off on
Yeah,
you.
I know. And then the fact that you have to buy other figures to get their relaxed wings, that's kind of annoying. Like, Eliza Maza came with Brooklyn's. Bronx came with Goliath's. Xanatos came with Demonas. Forget all the extra guns and the stupid weapons they never use. Just give me the extra wings.
Let me ask you this. Would you buy a pack if they made all their relaxed wings?
Yes,
That
absolutely.
was the only thing that was in there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
In fact, my ask for NECA, if we're getting to that part of the video, this would be a great way to save money on the molds, but I would want the stone version of all of them. They'd come with the different hands, the different heads that they all come with, but no accessories.
And the relaxed wings.
They would have the relaxed wings, the stone relaxed wings, and then that character would come with the colored relaxed wings. So that would be their only extra accessory. They would have the hands, extra head, and then the colored relaxed wings. And then the stone would have the relaxed wings as well.
Let me ask you this. How do you like the bendy toe?
I'm fine with that. I think a jointed tail might be annoying. It does scare me because I remember as a kid, any bendy toy we had, if you did it too much, it pokes through. So I am not going to go crazy with that. In the show, it was like prehensile. They could grab people's hands and stuff. I am not going to bend it that much. They do need the tail to help them to stand. Even though they have very stiff, powerful joints in their legs and ankles and stuff, you still need the tail to help them stand. Which is fine because the tail usually naturally land on the ground anyway. Do you have a favorite?
This is the first time seeing this guy. He
Give him
looks
a look.
really cool. He's very huge. Like,
Yeah.
I thought he was the same size as Goliath, but he's bigger. And the paint is amazing.
Yeah. There is one little smudge on one of the wings. I forgot where, but I did find one little smudge. That is it that I found on him. He looks great.
And he can actually...
His joints are loose. Do his torso.
Is his hair metal?
Yes, I guess in the
Why
show.
did Xanatos give metal hair?
He wants to be Goliath so bad, and this is his way of doing it. Look at that tail. That's a bendable tail, and it's still the shiny metallic. This figure's really, really good. I almost didn't get this one, because then I was like, oh, do I have to get the Steel Clan now?
Yes.
No, the Steel Clan's exactly like that, except without the stupid extra Xanatos head.
What else does it come with?
That's it. It comes with less stuff for the same price.
Yeah, but it's not red.
But it's not red. The red one's better. Any final thoughts on this?
They're cool. I'm not going to buy them. So you would buy all of the stone ones?
If I were going to NECA and presenting an idea, I would say, give me stone ones. Maybe they're slightly cheaper, but they only come with their extra heads, hands, and the colored versions of the half-closed.
Because when they were stone, they never looked like this.
Correct, because that's a flying wing. You wouldn't need this wing for stone. If they made stone ones, they would have to create new wings. So might as well give us the colored wings if you're going to do that.
Besides the stone gargoyles, who do you want them to make?
Okay, so the only two I don't have Angela, which I don't know if I'm going to get her or not. I don't know. And I don't have the Steel
say the number one thing is not what it comes with or whatever, it's the quality. How well do they look? I'd say $40. I'd say they're worth that. For brand new retail in the box.
Speaking of box, you know here at Mirror Twins, we don't care about boxes, but they are very, very nice. Picture of the toy, nice art on the side, and then
Collector-friendly boxes.
But here on Mirror Twins, we don't care. Packaging is meant to be thrown away, right?
It's pretty though.
With exception.
It's nice.
Oh, okay, I'll go get that. I'm sorry, Xanatos. If you're sitting on the fence with these, I would say, yeah, they're worth it. I think you're fine getting just the Manhattan Clan and not branching out to the others. If you want to find out what our opinion was on Super 7, we talked about, well, Super 7 worth it? They do run about $10 more than these. Are they worth it? Check out this video right here. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. If you feel like we've earned your subscription, I have been Justin.
And I'm still Kyle.
He's been Kyle the entire time. Don't let him fool you.
Now, get out of here, you crazy kids.
And we'll see you later.
When the sun sets, we will rise again. Got any food? Eat your slime.